Ground was broken recently for the construction of the ultra-modern 16-lane bowling establishment on the outskirts of Vincennes. Construction on the building will begin in very near future, Glenn H. Allen Jr., owner of the Bowling Corporation, announced that Wednesday. The lanes will be called Creole lanes and will feature Brunswick equipment including the A2 type pin setters, the latest in speed pin setting. The lanes will also have the subway return and the overhead projected score system in addition to the other features. The lanes will also have 8 full-size pocket billiard tables and a snack bar. The establishment will also have a lighted 160-car parking lot. G.H. Allen Incorporation will build the building for lease to Bowling Corporation. Mr. Allen expressed hope that the new lanes would be open by August, which would be in time for the bowling season. Pictured above, R.V. Tarrant, president of the Vincennes Chamber of Commerce, second from left as he breaks the ground for the construction of Creole lanes. Others in the picture from the left are Charles Walker, sales engineer for Force Construction Company, Tarrant, Donald Force, contractor, Glenn H. Allen, Jr., owner of the new building, William Krumsky, sales engineer for Brunswick Corporation, and William Heck, secretary of the Vincennes Chamber of Commerce. Creole Lanes to be formally opened Saturday, October 10, 1964. Creole Lanes with its modern equipment will make bowling more fun. What's inside the beige and white building at 812 Wheatland Road? The sign says it is the site of the new Creole Lanes, but that comes far from describing the beauty and the functionality which will greet the visitors inside. 16 of the best bowling lanes in the area, built by Brunswick Corporation and equipped by them, and 8 Brunswick gold-crowned pocket billiard tables are but the beginning. A snack bar serving drinks in short orders makes it convenient for hurried league bowlers, and pleasant too for those who are not so hurried to enjoy a tasty snack before, between, or after bowling. Clean, ample restrooms, a carpeted concourse, an efficient control counter all make for convenience and pleasure for the bowler. Outside a paid parking lot big enough for more than 100 cars makes a visit to Creole Lanes more convenient. As for the bowling and billiard equipment, they are the best money can buy, according to Glenn Allen, the manager. He pointed particularly with pride to the new Brunswick A2 pin setters, which he said are the fastest and most reliable in the business. Brunswick telescore units, which flash the score sheet onto the large screens over each lane, make it easier for spectators and for the bowlers themselves to tell what is going on during the league and tournament times. The establishment also has an ample supply of new rental shoes and house bowling balls for those guests who do not have their own. And for those who wish to acquire their own bowling equipment, Creole stocks a large supply of balls, bags, shoes, all Brunswick. The staff of employees of Creole Lanes is a carefully picked group of experienced and well-trained people. Glenn H. Allen Jr., proprietor of the new establishment, points out. They were chosen carefully during the period of construction by Mr. Allen in an effort to get an efficient group to serve his patrons well, and he feels he has succeeded. George Gordon, long one of the top bowlers in the city and experienced in bowling establishment work, is the assistant manager. Jerry Hudson, the mechanic on the pin setters and chief of maintenance, was chosen from a group of 25 applicants and has received a training in a 4-week course in Chicago on an A2 pin setter. Mr. Gordon also attended the same school. Miss Evelyn B. Riddle manages a snack bar, better known as Perk. Miss Riddle is no stranger to the restaurant patrons in Vincennes. She has cooked at many of the more popular restaurants and once operated a restaurant of her own. James Burnside, the general counterman, is himself an avid bowler and billiard player and has been dealing with the public most of his life, so he knows what they want. Roberta Fletchell, daytime counterwoman, is also well known to the women's bowlers of the city for her good manner and good humor. Maurice Wheatley and Robert Cox, Hudson's cohorts in maintenance, are active and energetic workers charged with many housekeeping details necessary to keep large operation like Creole spick and span and operative. And waitress Roberta Hedrick, as a full-time waitress, heads a group of other part-timers who are courteous and efficient. Free instructions from 2 of the nation's top star bowlers, an exhibition match, and numerous door prizes will be the feature attraction of Creole Lane's grand opening Saturday, October 10, 1964. Vincennes' newest and largest bowling establishment will officially open its doors on that day. It has already been in operation unofficially during a 6-week shakedown period. Shirley Grahams and Joe Joseph will be the stars who dispense with free advice for the bowlers present, and the same, too, will appear later for an exhibition match in the evening. The clinic began at 3 p.m. with a brief demonstration of fundamentals by the two stars. After the demonstration, the two will circulate among the bowlers on the 16 lanes, giving individual advice, instructions to those people who wish. The stars will then join for supper and return at 8 p.m. for a match during which they will team with 6 of the top men and women bowlers in the area. Qualifications to pick those local stars is now in progress at Creole Lanes. It will end tonight with the top 3 men and the top 3 women bowlers on a scratch basis being picked for the appearance. One alternate at each sex will also be chosen. Each of the 3 successful men qualifiers will bowl 1 game of the 3-game match as a partner to Shirley Graham's, and the 3 women will bowl 1 game each as partner to Joe Joseph. The alternates will be introduced and will act as honorary scorekeepers if their services on the lanes are not needed. Preceding the match will be the official grand opening ceremony. Mayor Earl Lawson will speak. Briefly, and welcoming address will be delivered by Glenn H. Allen Jr., proprietor of the new establishment. Following these addresses, 16 representatives of schools, government, business, industry, and Vincennes will throw out the first ball on each of the 16 lanes simultaneously. Also, during the match between games, door prizes, drawings will be made. Any persons in attendance during the day at Creole Lanes will be asked to register for those drawings. Among the prizes will be several balls, bags, shoes, courtesy of Brunswick Corporation. Actually, the grand opening will be extended throughout the following week, according to Mr. Allen. A number of businesses who are sponsors of teams at Creole Lane are now passing out tickets good for 3 games for the price of 2 as an introductory offer. These tickets will be honored beginning today, the day before the official opening. They will continue to be honored throughout the following days until the next Friday, October 16th. During this period, there will be a number of additional features which will be announced at the grand opening. Mr. Allen personally urged all bowlers and all non-bowlers to turn out on the big chief bowling instructors slated Wednesday for Creole. A full-blooded Seneca Indian, who is one of the nation's top bowlers, will blaze a trail into Vincennes Wednesday, October 27, 1971. Brunswick star Chief Halftown, also a popular Philadelphia TV star, is scheduled to appear at Brunswick Creole Lanes at 4 p.m. that day. According to Jerry Gibbs, manager of Creole Lanes, the chief is in town to conduct bowling powwows with the young bowlers of Vincennes. He has traveled thousands of miles and helping thousands of youngsters learn to enjoy the fun of bowling. The chief started bowling in the Army during World War II and has averaged near 200 in league competition. In 1958, he was a member of the Walker McDermott squad that captured the Philadelphia team title. Halftown is a direct descendant of the chief who signed the Seneca Peace Treaty with the U.S. in 1794. He still receives a token grant of calico and money from the government each year under terms of the agreement. He conducts children's shows in Philadelphia, TV, and a few years ago he originated a junior bowling tournament with televised finals. The event attracted more than 8,000 youngsters between 8 and 6. As a member of the Brunswick Advisory Staff of Champions, he is one of the nation's big league stars who promote bowling with special personal appearances throughout the country. In the photo above, you can see him rolling a bowling ball down the lane at Creole Lanes in Vincennes. In my experience with Chief Halftown, I was a student at Tecumseh Elementary School. And Chief Halftown came and gave a show and talked about the Seneca people to the entire school. And at the end, he invited us all to come over to Creole Lanes to bowl for free. I really thought I'd find more information about Chief Halftown in Vincennes because as a memory, a lot of people my age can remember that as a child, Chief Halftown coming to our elementary school talking about the Seneca people and inviting us to Creole Lanes to bowl for free. That's one of our big memories. June 30th. 2018. Creole Lanes has closed its doors for good. Owner Chip Sparks, also a local auctioneer, on Friday announced that after more than 5 years of trying to keep the bowling alley at 812 Old Wheatland Road afloat, he's decided enough is enough. He said, "I did everything I could," he said, "but it's time for me to move on." Sparks purchased the bowling alley nearly 6 years ago with the intent of closing it and transforming the building into an auction house. Amid cries from the public, however, he decided to give the ailing business another chance at jumping head first into renovations. 2 years ago, he even hosted the 2016 16 Indiana Open Seniors Singles Tournament, an event that drew nearly 1,000 bowlers and their families to Indiana's oldest city. Members of the Vincennes Bowling Association and Sparks were able to secure a bid to host the tournament that's sanctioned by the U.S. Bowling Congress, and it's marked the first time in decades that the USBC sanctioned event was held south of Interstate 70. Sparks made quite a few improvements to his venue in preparations for senior bowlers' arrival, spending somewhere around $20,000 to install new flooring, resurface the lanes, and purchase new pins. But in the end, a lack of interest in the sport has forced his hand, he said. The men's league is still usually full on Wednesday nights, but the women's and couple leagues have dwindled over the years, he said. Used to be on the weekends in the winter we'd get busy, but even that is lessened over the years too. I've monitored it closely over years after year. Numbers just keep going down, he said. So now is the time to just close it and move forward. And it's not just a local problem, interest in bowling on the decline nationwide in recent years. According to a report in USA Today that looked at bowling between 1998 and 2013, the number of alleys in the U.S. has fallen from 5,400 to 3,976, a 26% decline. A study with White Hutchison Leisure and Learning Group in Kansas City attributed the drop to fading bowling leagues, which used to generate over 70% of revenues 2 years ago, that had dropped to just 40%, and it continues to decline. Sparks said he also pointed to recent quality of life improvements made in Vincennes that now offers more for families to do. In the summer months, there's a Rainbow Beach Aquatic Center, and now KCARC's indoors 1972 Community Center just down the road. Vincennes University redid the bowling alley too, and it's a state-of-the-art facility now. Sparks said, there are things for families to do, so I'm going to go ahead with the plan I had for the building all along. Jerry Cardinal, president of the Men's Bowling League, said his group will now likely begin bowling at VU's new facility. Members have a meeting at the end of July, he said, to discuss all the details. I'm glad we have VU to go to, Cardinal said. There's just one little downfall. There's no alcohol, he said with a chuckle, but the important thing is that we keep it here in town. League bowling typically begins in August and wraps up in the spring. Sparks said he would be working or transforming the bowling alley into an auction house over the next 6 months. I'll be expanding my business, even adding an online auction service, Sparks said. When I'm done, I'll have a 17,000 square feet auction house on more than 3 acres with heat, air, a bar, grill, bathrooms, and it's going to be perfect setup.